The Egyptian pyramid remains to be one of the most alluring historical sites in the world, and although it is studied by archaeologists and scientists, the pyramid is clouded with mystery and unexplainable origin. Archaeologists have studied the pyramids from their structure to its deepest content. However, some discoveries are not surprising, but simply astonishing. So what are they? In today's video, we are going to look at 10 reasons why the Egyptian pyramids terrify scientists. Number 10. Voids. If a person talked about cosmic rays used to scan the pyramids, you would think about aliens. However, that's not really the case. But there have been scans that were done on the Great Pyramids of Giza using special cosmic rays, and they have shown some interesting things that we didn't have any idea of. Mainly, in the Pyramid of Giza, the multiple hidden chambers that apparently have never been explored. The largest of the two voids is located above the Grand Gallery, a passageway that may lead to the chamber of the pharaoh Khufu. The chamber is about 98 feet long and 20 feet high. That is a big gap in a pyramid. However, the other is smaller and less significant because it is unclear why it is there. Some would think it is a burial room, while others would think of a treasure room. Another source states that they were made in that sort of manner to keep the pyramid in position. So if this pyramid has this void, do the others as well. Number 9. Age. The Great Pyramid of Giza is described to be 4,500 years old. However, how sure of that can we really be? It is said that the Giza pyramids were built 85 years between 2589 and 2504 BCE. However, from the research stated, the information above might be incorrect. The estimates come from a radiocarbon dating test carried out on material from in and around the pyramids in 1984. Radiocarbon wasn't popular back then as it is right now. Further tests that were carried out in 1984 and 1985 indicated that the 184 estimates might be more than 2 centuries, making the pyramid 200 years younger. This is significant because it means that the pyramid of Senusret II wasn't built until around a century after his death. However, there is another problem. The fact that radiocarbon dates are obtained from wood, and Egyptians had a habit of reusing wood. The wood sample from in and out of the pyramid may have been old by the time it was used there. History books would be persistent with the creation of pyramids 4,500 years ago, but it would be closer to 4,100. Number 8. Secret chambers. We have talked about the idea of the age and the void in the pyramids of Giza. Stay focused, as here are the evidence that those voids might be secret chambers. Do they have traps installed? Let's find out. In 2020, explorers identified 2 secret doors hidden inside the pyramid. They're at the end of a pair of narrow tunnels that extend from the north and south walls of the Queen's Chamber inside the pyramid, then stop at stone blocks before they reach the outer walls. There isn't enough space for a human to explore them, but a robot called WebWat was sent into the space and obtained pictures of a small stone door with what appeared to be 2 copper handles attached to it. WebWat also took pictures of faint red hieroglyphics painted on the wall. The hieroglyphics are rough, almost looking like graffiti. From this, it is possible that they're guide marks left behind by the stone masons who built the pyramids. These shafts can be used as ventilation since they don't open up to the exterior of the pyramid. However, they're surely too small for humans to have expected to navigate them. Building a door means that there are some things hidden, but what could they be? What was valuable? Anyway, to the earlier question, are there any booby traps? Well, no, not in the way that we see in movies. There were no giant rolling balls, pits of snakes, or flesh-eating bugs. The ancient Egyptians went to great lengths to protect the mummy and goods buried inside the tombs. Number 7. The Orion Mystery. This is an idea that has been heard and repeated so many times that people believed it to be true even though the evidence states otherwise. In the 1980s, Egyptologist Robert Bovell claimed 3 pyramids of Giza complex are aligned with the stars to make up the belt of the constellation of Orion in the night sky. Bovell followed this up with a book called The Orion Mystery, which was released in 1995. The book ended up becoming a New York Times bestseller, and the idea took root in people's minds. The book was a big influence. However, to be honest, the book and the whole concept are a little dishonest. You can't make the pyramids line up with Orion's belt unless you invert one or the other. Plus, if the Egyptians had the intention to reflect the position of the stars, they would have to arrange them in a way that didn't necessitate the inversion. To add to the points, the pyramids weren't all built at the same time. There is no suitable evidence to say that the third pyramid was planned when the first was built. To seal the points, the stars in the Orion belt don't look the same now as they would have 4,500 years ago. Number 6. The fourth pyramid. There was a common theory of a fourth pyramid in the Giza Plateau. However, there is no archaeological theory of this pyramid. Perhaps this mysterious staircase is the first sign of it. The staircase plunges down into the floor of the desert. It might once be in the missing pyramid's basement. It was an impressive work for the workers. The staircase leads down through several feet of limestone and leads to a hidden underworld that was unknown until 2018. Now, the staircase is limited, as it is owned by the military. However, few archaeologists have managed to gain supervised visits. Amazingly, the lowest point is a full 125 feet beneath the ground and is full of water. The underground area is full of carved niches in which black basalt and granite sarcophagi are installed. The sarcophagi are open, so it seems someone has raided the tombs in the distant past. An ancient Egyptian writer once spoke of how Egyptian priests created underground chambers during the building of Memphis, and it appears the practice occurred in Giza as well. Down there is like a whole secret city beneath the plateau. Number 5. Polished facades. We can't deny that the pyramids look great today. However, they look alluring when they were first built. After standing exposed for over 4,000 years, their exterior surface has become a little rough and lumpy. When they were first completed, they had a stunning, glistening facade that would have made them appear almost as if they were made of glass. According to Williamson, an Egyptologist from Harvard University, the casing stones that made up the external facade of the pyramids were polished to a high degree, using abrasive materials like fine sandstone and even brick to produce a smooth finish. During the day when the sun was up, they would seem to glow. Williamson is sure about her findings and insists that the time, effort, and precision involved in the polishing process means that the quality of the craft people who worked on the pyramid were even greater than we've always imagined to be. As for the shining facade, they're naturally faded and crumbled over time. In addition, some of the casing stones were removed long ago to be used in other building projects. This accelerated the decline. Number 4. Able to survive without scientific technology. If you are a lover or a hater, one thing is for sure, you have to admit how amazing the pyramids are to date. This is because these pyramids were built such a long time ago on a scale that wouldn't be seen for thousands of years after they've already been built. It is absolutely ridiculous how they are standing today. Out of all the 7 wonders of the world, the Great Pyramids of Giza are the only structure on that list that continue to stand despite the fact that they're older than each of the other 6 wonders. Even other pyramids found around the world have failed to bear the scrutiny of time. They are usually partially damaged or simply too small to be compared to Egyptian ones. The question that remains in our minds is, how was this pyramid able to last? This is something that confuses scientists to this day. Number 3. Temperature. We take 21st century technology for granted. This technology is such as air conditioners, etc. Why do we say that? In ancient Egypt, they didn't have such luxuries. However, despite not having any access to electricity or machines that could cool down the hot air, the pyramids of Giza are all about 20 degrees Celsius on the inside, with the temperature not exceeding that point. Considering that temperatures of the desert can go up to 50 degrees Celsius, that's a remarkable feat, and proof that ancient Egyptian engineers were smart enough to construct something that self-regulates the temperature. Number 2. The mysterious inner coffer. We have learned much information about the pyramids from scientists and historians about the Great Pyramid. However, this is not one of them. So what is it? There's a granite coffer located inside one of the pyramids, and while it is not a big discovery considering how grand the pyramids themselves are, there is something unique, something special about the granite coffer. It's too big to fit inside the room it's in. There's no way it would have gotten in without damaging the entry to the coffer itself. This was unless the room was built around this. However, to this date, they have no valid information. Number 1. No slaves were involved in the pyramid building. One common story about the pyramid is that it was built by slaves who were chained as they were forced to carry heavy stones and blocks of limestones on their back. But that theory, which was passed on by ancient Greek historians who tried to make sense of the pyramid construction, has been proven to be false. At the time, it shows workers living luxurious lives. They were hand-picked among the best workers in the empire, and there were even settlements and cities where they grew their own food and settled. They also lived with their families if they had one. In addition, the working conditions weren't nearly that bad. Ancient Egyptians were uncovered to have been able to access post holes, ramps, and stairs. This would allow them to carry these large, heavy blocks, although there were a lot of workers. The video's come to an end, and we thank you for watching. What was most surprising about what was mentioned? What stood out more and what parts impressed you? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe on your way out.